Hi, Nightwolf here, and in this video, I'll be going into detail on why I imagine is my favorite Fortnite Storyline character. Oh, before this video starts, I have something to show you.
If they came to hear me,
Simp.
they will be disappointed. Are you sure?
Oh, so you want to know if I really simp for Imagined or not?
Sorry, Guns. It's classified. My ass!
If you're wondering who the hell this guy is, this is my first subscriber, and he shipped me with Imagined a lot in private DMs for some reason. Here is proof of him trying to make it so I'm an Imagined simp, because I have Imagined in thumbnail. So now you know the context. Anyway, time to really start the video. Okay, where should I start? Yes, let's talk about the tutorial quests you get. So when you first start up the game at the first week of Chapter 3 Season 2, you would hear Imagine's voice for the tutorial quests, for the new mantling and hurling mechanic introduced during that season.
Listen up. I'm the Imagined. You don't know me, but, well, we have 6 mutual friends. And a mutual problem. The Imagined Order has blocked building, and we are gonna get it back. Together.
When you first heard Imagine's voice, were you blinded by its majesty? I truly was. I wish those quests lasted the entire season because they did a really great job on introducing Imagined as a 7-member and as a character. Hell, I think they should have been permanent because they're tutorial quests and tutorials should be permanent, not temporary. Anyways, those quests are part of the reason that made Imagined easily my favorite storyline character. It isn't until week 3 we hear from Imagined again. In week 3, Imagined says,
You are the Origin's favorite assistant in the field, huh? It's me, the Imagined. You can call me whatever you want, I don't really care.
but would she really care if I call her Wendy's? Anyways, in week 3 it's about helping Imagined set up a connection to talk to Paradigm.
It is her! The Paradigm is still out there, and she has just sent the solution to our problems! I gotta tell the Origin about this. He'll be... happy? I hope.
Well, that didn't age well, because after Imagined tells Origin about Paradigm, Origin yells at Imagined for 1 hour, which I wish we heard that as a conversation in an audio log because it would show how the 7 were dividing during that time. And here's a voice line of Imagined.
So, telling the Origin about the Paradigm's new weapon went as well as you'd expect. That guy's always saying, this could be the end of our reality. And yet, he holds on to petty grudges that make reality harder to save. I am sick of the infighting. Paradigm has a plan, and we need to try it. Drop these schematics off at the scientist's lab incognito. You know, to protect the Origin's fragile ego. I wouldn't have picked the fake mustache. Looks itchy. But, it'll work. Drop off those plans. He'll know what to do with these. We're gonna end this war together. Whether the Origin likes it or not.
I think the week 3 voice lines of Imagined in Chapter 3 Season 2 had some good world building. No. The entire season actually had good world building. So moving on to week 4. In it, Imagined tells you retrieved something from the blimp.
Remember that data scraper you planted on one of those blimps a while back? I'm sending a drone to retrieve the data from you, but you will have to be quick.
But in it, Imagined says this.
This could change my life. Everyone's lives, in the sense that they will continue to exist. Good work.
Yeah, that sounded sus. That isn't the last time Imagined sounded sus, by the way. Now in week 5, the first part is about wiretapping the IO to spy on them. And in it, Imagined says this.
Sure, we can get my new best friend to do it. So, Looper, today you are wiretapping the Imagined Order.
Thank you, Imagined, for your kind words. Interactions like this is what makes House 7 as my favorite faction in the Fortnite storyline. The next part of the quest is to retrieve something from the crashed blimp, and after that, it's about helping Imagined set up a personal relay with Paradigm. And in week 6, we give Imagined an IO key card. Actually, I'm gonna play the entire week 6 voice lines of Imagined.
I could really use an Imagined Order access card for my top secret investigation. Why don't you borrow one from a guard? Bring it to me. Now bring that card to me, and don't get eliminated on the way. It's really inconvenient for me. For both of us. This will be really helpful for a mission that is literally none of your business. You did a good job. Just be cool about this, okay? No one else has to know.
Did you hear the last part? That feels like something the imposter from Among Us would say. You know how there are memes of like the red is the imposter, right? I think it should be changed from red is sus to orange is sus because of Imagine. And here's the dialogue you get when you talk to Imagine in chapter 3 season 2. See, Imagine had a sus tone in this. And here's an interaction of Imagine with Jonesy, Peely, and Doctor Strange. Now I can understand why people thought Imagine was a traitor back then, and thankfully that wasn't true, because if what they said was true, then I would be really heartbroken. So anyways, in week 8, Imagine tells you to send invites to all the NPCs for a party because the 7 got a victory against IO. In week 8, Imagine says this.
It is important for all of us, including the 7, to remember what we're fighting for. The island, reality itself, and most importantly, you, the loopers.
Stuff like this makes Imagine my favorite member of the 7 and my favorite storyline character. I don't really think Imagine is a traitor, because if she is, she wouldn't be saying stuff like that. And after that, Imagine explains why Origin thinks Paradigm is a traitor. I think you should hear what Imagine says about Origin.
The Origin is convinced she's a traitor because she broke out of a prison he had to be rescued from. He thinks she had inside help, but he has no proof. Old men and their hunches, I guess.
And here's something Imagine says.
Maybe you think I'm naive for seeing the good in the Paradigm. The truth is, I don't remember anything about my past. At all. But I believe in what the 7 is doing. And I'm here, aren't I?
That's some good stuff Imagine says. And here's some stuff Imagine says to me, aka the Looper.
Hey, thanks for the talk. I've never been able to open up like that before. I feel like I can trust you. So, thanks for being there for me.
You're welcome, Imagine. And you see, Imagine trusts me and he thanks me for being there for her. So it means I played a role in the Fortnite storyline. I know I already said this, but stuff like that makes the 7 my favorite faction in the Fortnite storyline. I wish Imagine returns to the Fortnite storyline. So anyways, in week 10, we helped Imagine. Actually, I'm gonna let Imagine give you the explanation.
There's a lot of I don't knows floating around Sanctuary right now. We don't know what that thing in Loot Lake does. We don't know if the mech will be enough to stop it. And most annoyingly, we don't know if Paradigm is trustworthy. Patch me into the loudspeakers. It's time to inject some certainty into our situation here. There's been a lot of questions around the loyalty of one of our ranks, the Paradigm. So I just want to go on record, very loudly, to say that I stand with her. She has helped us every step of the way. To judge her based on rumor? Well, it's criminal. I don't remember my past. I could have done... I don't want to think about what I could have done, but I am here now. I am ready to fight. And ultimately, I think that's what matters. It's time for us to stand together, to unify, to fight, and save reality.
Okay, if I'm being honest, that's a really good speech Imagine gave. It's really good. Whoever voiced Imagine did a really great job. So in week 11, Imagine talks about the mech and we have to help collect fuel for the mech or something. And here are the last words Imagine says to me, aka the Looper.
I'll see you out there on the battlefield, okay? I'll be the one watching your 6.
Well, that was a fucking lie. Actually, I wish she watched my 6 in the live end. Instead, she did this Wolverine. Oh, wait. ZOR isn't canon. I think ZOR isn't canon because there are many things in the game lore which ZOR showed very differently. And I really hate ZOR because it gave Imagine the Jake Skywalker treatment. I don't care what you say, Not even will ever convince me Zero War is canon, and not even will convince me to like Zero War. It's absolute dog shit. I truly have many reasons I can give to show you why Zero War isn't canon, but this video isn't about that. So, if I ruined your mood because I reminded you of Zero War, here's a meme for you to make you feel better. You're fine now, good. Now let's talk about the Imagine NPCs back in Chapter 3 Season 2. The one on the left is the first dialogue you get the first time you speak to Imagine, and the one on the right is a dialogue you get normally when you talk to Imagine during Chapter 3 Season 2. So the one on the left tells a lot about her personality, which I like. And the one on the right proves my point that Imagine is like the orange imposter, while red is the normal imposter. I'm saying Imagine is the orange imposter is because her armor is orange and she has orange hair. I think if Imagine tried Among Us, she would probably like it, and she would leave whenever she doesn't get imposter role because she would like being imposter. And her color for her avatar would be orange because she has orange armor and orange hair. And she has these mysterious orange or red stuff on her face. And here are the secret dialogues you got when you talk to these NPCs as Imagine. It looks like Imagine doesn't listen to Origin, and these dialogue right here proves my point again that Imagine is like an orange imposter from Among Us. And what did Doctor Strange mean when he says this? Does Imagine trick people to get them to help her uncover her past? I mean, I would try to help her find her past for free, which is exactly what I did in the Resistance quests. But unfortunately, that didn't go anywhere. So anyways, these are the dialogue you get when you use these skins to talk to Imagine back in Chapter 3 Season 2. It shows Foundation because doesn't give a fuck about helping Imagine remember her past. And it looks like Origin doesn't like Imagine because she doesn't like to listen to him. I think Origin called her insubordinate because she set up a communication with Captain Marvel, and Origin thinks Captain Marvel is the traitor. This dialogue shows Imagine wants to help scientists bring back Paradigm, which shows Imagine is really nice. And I have a fun fact about this secret dialogue. This dialogue is the reason how my first subscriber found out I am actually the voice actor of Visitor, and it fueled his desire a lot to ship me with Imagine. Anyway, let's move to Chapter 3 Season 3. Imagine is seen fine and well in the Chapter 3 Season 3 trailer, and she was an NPC during that season. The one on the left is the first dialogue you first talk to Imagine back in Chapter 3 Season 3. I think the one on the reference is a reference to the collision event where I helped co-pilot the mecha team leader with Captain Marvel and 3 other players. And also Imagine, thank you for the compliment. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone you said that. And the one on the right shows that Imagine still doesn't remember her past in Chapter 3 Season 3. And here are all the dialogues you get when you talk to these NPCs while using the Imagine skin. So Imagine still causes trouble, and this dialogue shows that Foundation once had hair, and these dialogues show that Imagine has good relations with Scientist and Paradigm. This dialogue over here shows that the Imagine and Order still don't remember their past during Chapter 3 Season 3, which means Zero isn't canon. Point proved. Now, these are all the secret dialogues you get when you use these skins to talk to Imagine back in Chapter 3 Season 3. Maybe Foundation doesn't come to the party because he's busy looking at his statue. Oh wait, I forgot it's destroyed in Chapter 3 Season 2. How sad. And yes, I do agree that they should team up more often because they're 2 of my favorite members of the 7 and 2 of my favorite storyline characters. Nothing much is here. This is some interesting dialogue. Why does this remind me of this scene for some reason?
General Grievous, you're shorter than I expected.
So anyways, I think this is a reference to Minecraft because Minecraft created farming. This is some interesting lore. It looks like Imagine didn't get to spend time with her sister during Chapter 3 Season 2 because Order was busy spying on the IO to get some top secret classified info. But Imagine talked to the Order in Zero War, which means more evidence that Zero War isn't canon. Good thing that shit isn't canon. I really hate it. You cannot convince me Zero War is canon, just like how I cannot convince you Zero War isn't canon. So anyway, last time we heard a mention from Imagine is this.
Want to retrace the Imagine steps. If she's still here, she'll be where the party is. If there was any sign of trouble, she would have loaded up on shields right away. Gone. Please, tell me she's just doing karaoke at her usual spot.
And it's been 1 year since Imagine disappeared from the storyline with the rest of the 7. I miss listening to Imagine's voice every week. That was a great time. She's a great character. She has a great voice. I think the actor of Imagine deserves to get an Oscar. Even if that's not how you get Oscars, I will personally give her an Oscar made up of real gold, or even made up of netherite. In Chapter 4, Season 1, it's revealed that the 7 are alive. And fun fact, if I somehow became a storyline character, I would attempt a rescue mission where I would raid the Cube Cradle and kill both the Cube Queen, Herald, Triarch, Nox, and many other people like that with
2 sticks and a rock!
just to save Imagine and dip from the chaos. But unfortunately, I cannot do that. I think the words I could describe Imagine are nice, kind-hearted, motivational because of the speech, charming because of the glider description, and speaking of cosmetics, Imagine uses this sword to cut sandwiches. And what's the other word? Oh yeah, relatable. I don't know why, but for some reason, it feels like that. What more words I could use to describe Imagine?
No, sir.
I wish when Imagine returns to the Fortnite storyline, I hope she gets voice lines by the same actor from Chapter 3 Season 2 because it was really good hearing Imagine's voice back then. And I really wish you could listen to the audio logs again from the game. I think Fortnite should like add a storyline collection book to like look back at live events, audio logs, etc. And I hope Charlie Van like considers it. So anyways, I guess that's all I have to say. Before I end off this video, I have one thing to say. Yes, I do simp for Imagine. I would her. Okay, fine, Trade. I said everything you wanted me to say. Can you please let my dog go? He has been starving ever since you started holding him hostage.